Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of CSP, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have two very hardworking guests with us and who we believe are the future for Indian cricket. So, without any further ado, please welcome Chirag Katrela and Krish Iyer.
Hey guys, tell us a bit about yourselves. Krish, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello guys, I'm Krish. I'm currently 12. I practice at Cricket Culture, which is in Kerpuram. I'm an opening batsman and a fast bowler. And yeah, that's it.
Chirag.
I'm Chirag. I play at KIOC and I'm a fast bowler. I've been playing cricket since I was 6 and I've not stopped ever since.
Yeah, so for the audience to get to know you guys a bit more better, who are your cricket idols and why?
I think, I'm an all-rounder, so I obviously have to. For batting, I admire Dhoni because the way when he chases, the way he's cool, he keeps calm and he trusts himself. He trusts his process. He doesn't worry too much. And bowling, I just love James Anderson.
I've
And
had
Chirag?
one idea since I grew up. It was Virat Kohli. His grit, his determination just pushed me also to start the sport, which I am grateful for. And he still forever will be my idol no matter what I do. If I'm a bowler or batsman, just that grit, the attitude that he possesses while he's on the field, just I think motivates not only me but millions of people around the world.
If yeah, go ahead, Ji.
Right. So Chirag, you did say that your idol was Kohli. So again, a bit of a controversial question here. What are your thoughts on Kohli stepping down from captaincy from all three formats?
It was sudden. No jokes there, but honestly, I feel he wasn't that bad as people put him to be. He was one of the greatest test captains ever. Um, ODI and T20 also didn't do such a bad job, I felt. He was a very good captain that installed a good mentality amongst the players. But when results are not coming right, you as a player also tend to feel something is wrong and something new has to be done to get the results right. And I feel it was a very conservative step taken in consideration of his batting as well. But I'm not sure if it was the right one because Kohli as a leader has moved India to places where they never thought we could be number one test ranking. I mean, 8, 9 years ago, this would have been a dream, but Kohli had achieved that for, I don't know, 5, 6 long years, which I felt is a great achievement, but everything happens for a reason. I think Kohli stepping down also was for a good reason for the betterment of Indian cricket, of course.
And Krish, do you have any different views on this?
Yeah, I think, it was obviously sudden because nothing, just get up in the morning, eat your breakfast, open Instagram and see Kohli step down from captaincy. If everyone put pressure on the selectors telling that he's not in form, remove him. Like, if he's in pressure, no one can hit 30 plus centuries when you're in pressure. That's it. That's what I think.
Right. So you did say that people were putting pressure on the selectors. And Kohli obviously is going through a dry spell right now. I mean, we've not seen him hit a century in over 3 years, if I'm not wrong. Do you guys see Kohli bouncing back stronger and again coming back to his 2016 prime?
Well, every dark space has a light at the end of it. And for the player as great as Kohli, there is no lean phase that can determine him. He has to bounce back, and I'm pretty sure he will quite soon.
And
Krish?
And it's not that he hasn't been scoring. He has. It's just that the standards he set for himself are too high that the normal 50s or 60s that are too big for a normal batsman to achieve seems too small when you see Kohli. Kohli scoring 100 is like anyone scoring a single run. It was that great. So whenever Kohli gets around 50 or a 60, no matter how important that knock is, people always feel that it's not great because of the standards he set.
I think, he will definitely bounce back because as they say that form is just temporary, and Kohli, the way he has like served India for the past like what 8 or 9 years, it's just like it's pretty obvious. Like no one can go out of form suddenly. Just now, like in 2019, he was smashing centuries, and now it's just like he's not in form. That's a story for every cricketer. I think even Rohit Sharma had not been playing. Then one match against West Indies, he scored a 70, and the hype went up. Like for Kohli, even if he hits like 70 plus, they tell he's still out of form. So that's what I think.
Right, so as Chirag rightly mentioned, it's because of the standards he set for himself that people are putting pressure on him. And Krish, you did say that Rohit Sharma, I mean, he did hit a 70 against West Indies, and that's when the hype started to build up. So what are your thoughts on Rohit Sharma being the captain?
Yeah, I think that's not a bad choice because he's experienced and he has won many trophies for Mumbai Indians. But I would still give the first priority to Virat Kohli just because what he has done for Team India.
And Chirag?
For himself. When we don't win 5 IPL trophies just sitting around, I feel he is a great captain, and he is leading India the right way, currently unbeaten, which I feel is a good choice. And there are no rifts going on, and I feel that yeah, he's going to be a great captain.
Um, so speaking back to idols and players, who do you all think should be the main playing 11 in the upcoming T20 World Cup?
I have not really seen the T20 World Cup squad, but as of what I've seen from the Asia Cup, I think the top four should be Rohit, Rahul, Kohli, and Sky. Then followed by Hardik, Pant, DK, Jadeja, which gives 7 players. And I think Jadeja and Hardik Pandya are like fast bowler and spinner. So next four, I think it can be Bhuvi, Arshdeep, Chahal, and one of Bishnoi and Ashwin is what I think.
And Chirag?
Well, I pretty much think the same thing, but if you ask the 11, it should be Rohit and Surya Kumar to open, Kohli at 1, Rahul at 4, Pant at 5, Hardik at 6, DK at 7, Jadeja at 8, uh, Harshal Patel at 9, Bumrah at 10, and Chahal at 11. I feel this will be the strongest 11 to give India the upper hand. And the 4 standbys can possibly be Akshar Patel, Deepak Chahar, um, and I don't know 2 others, but I think the 11 will be the strongest level India can face against any team in the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, Chirag, by the sound of your squad, it looks like there's a lot of batting depth in it. So from your experience in the whole cricketing industry, do you feel that batsmen are prioritized over any other positions, or
Well,
they're given more
batsmen when you
priority to?
game, there's a very old saying that I've always felt for. It is batsmen win your game, but bowlers win your tournaments. And yes, batting depth is very important, but when you pick 11, you don't only pick 9 batsmen that can bat. You'd want 3 or 4 of those batsmen who can bowl, and you can bowl you economical spells. I mean, when you play at a level, you realize that economy is more important than the number of wickets you take, especially in T20. I mean, you can go for 4 runs per over and not pick a wicket, and that's still better than going at 12 runs per over and picking up 4. So having a batting depth is of no use if you don't have the bowlers to back you up for it. So I feel that it's not that one basic thing is prioritized more than the other. It's just how you manage to balance all 3 aspects of the game together and culminate it into 11 which feels the
Yeah, I think it should not be more prioritized than bowling. Even if it is, it should not. Because, like, example, in a T20 match, you go and your team hits 200 plus. then it's not job done. You have to defend it. You don't like, not that Virat Kohli comes and bowls 3 overs. You can't. That's why you need bowlers. Like, I think they are very underrated, because to defend it, people think okay, defending 200, that's an easy task, but you should realize, like, on the pitch like that, if you're able to defend, that's just great.
Right, but do you think the media gives more priority to batsmen?
That depends on where you are. I mean, in India, the amount of talent that India has produced when it comes to batsmen, it's huge. So it's quite obvious that batsmen get the headlines. But I think currently India is having a fast bowler surge, or a bowling surge, a fresh bowling attack, which I feel is very important. Any successful country, you can pick up any successful World Cup winning country, and you'll see that the bowlers they have is world class. They have at least two world number one bowlers. And I think India is developing onto one good fast bowling nation, which I feel is great, because fast bowling was underrated in India. Batting was the only talk of the town, as in who's the new batsman in town, or who's this new power hitter. But there was no quite mention of fast bowler, which, so it depends on country to country which is prioritized more. But the media, of course, in India currently, if you see, batsmen are given more priority, but pace bowlers are seeing a surge.
I
Right,
think.
okay.
Okay.
No,
You
go
can
ahead,
go.
Krish.
Okay. So I think, yeah, the media sometimes does prioritize batsmen, because this IPL, as we saw in the first 6 or 7 matches, Rohit Sharma didn't hit anything like above 40, and Bumrah was not bowling good at all until he picked a fifer. So that time, all you see in social media, wherever you scroll, is Rohit Sharma not able to score, he's out of form. But no one talks about the bowlers who can't, like, who are not in form. They think it's easy, okay, just a matter of 1-2 games, getting 3 wickets, getting 4 wickets. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's very interesting. And you guys are very into cricket. If not for playing cricket, what else would you guys have been doing in your lives?
I've honestly been playing it all my life. So I really have no clue what I would have been doing without cricket, because I started cricket before I started school. So it makes, I honestly have no clue what I would have done if not cricket.
Yeah, same for me. Like, I feel like I've given all into it. Whatever I can do, I give it into my cricket. Like, every day in my practice, I think this is the last day. I just keep going. Like, I can't stop from here. But if not for cricket, I am like really interested in archaeology and all. So that's, I think.
What's one important lesson you guys have learned throughout the years?
I
Patience,
think.
Patience.
patience. It's clearly patience. I've waited for my opportunity, and you need to understand that you're not going to get all the possible things that you want in one season. You would have to wait for it. You'd have to work for it. You have to give everything you have into that, into every year in, year out. You have to give everything that you want. And it's not always that you get the result, but when you do, it's the best thing ever. So patience, patience.
I think, yeah, even like I can agree with patience, because there was a time when I had not hit a single 50, like it was going all on 30s, 20s. Then there's no like going back, because I knew I've been playing all these years cricket to go ahead, not just to give up. Then it it depends on how much hard work you give in practice. If you give your 100% in practice, then no doubt that will definitely, like, you can see the effect in your matches. So then eventually, even after 150, you get that confidence, okay, I can keep going. Even if it's like against an easy team, you should believe in yourself that okay, I've hit a 50, so now I know how to like survive here. I think, yeah, you should just have your patience and just believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, I think it's just useless. Like, even before going for a practice or match, you just go empty-minded. Okay, if the ball comes, I'm just going to keep my bat there. That just wastes a day of your practice. So I think before going there, you should believe in yourself, tell, okay, I can do this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ji.
Yeah. So walk us through like your daily routine right from the time you get up till the time you sleep, and give us like two scenarios where one, or the first scenario is like a really busy day where you have multiple sessions planned out, and another is a bit like a chill day, to say the least.
Definitely.
I think
Well,
you can go for.
so the two these scenarios a cricketer usually has is off season and on season. So on seasons where the matches happen, which is the summer one, which is all the way from June-ish till September ending. That is where the league games happen and everything. So the routine is pretty simple. You wake up, you check when you have team practice, you attend team practice, have a good meeting one day before the game, or have a good team bonding session, and then get yourself prepared for the game. That is simple. And working out or doing anything which is kind of strengthening becomes very hard to fit into the on-season part, where you just have to play, either practice a game. And when it's off-season is when the hard work really comes in. So you wake up, you have either a gym session early in the morning or in the afternoon, and then you have a practice session, which is usually lasts 2.5 hours, and then you come back and of course you have to relax yourself. So these are the two scenarios a cricketer has, and I'm pretty sure these are the two things that he or she follows to maintain themselves before a season. And
I think yeah, I can agree with the two scenarios. Like when it's on season, definitely just keep practicing. Like for me, what it goes, my school ends at 3. From there, directly I go for coaching. Then I'm back home at like 9 because we have night sessions. Then that's the time I get to do like home workout. I do home workout, how much of a time it takes me. Then again a fresh starting. Then the time like when we don't have matches, people think, okay, when matches come 2 3 days, I'll practice and I can score. It's not like if you have a gap of keep it 14 days between your next match. Instead of like spending those 14 days like doing time pass and just chilling, I think you can really like work hard in those 14 days so you can get a better result. And there's one more scenario like in rainy days, when like now the monsoon season, people think they open their doors, oh, it's raining today, no practice, let me just chill. I think this rainy season is the best for cricketers to focus on their fitness and like to do their workout more consistently.
I mean,
Yeah. Moksh, if I may say something here. So you guys did say, or Chris did say that he has, so it's right after school that he goes to practice. Chris, so how do you balance your whole social life, your school life, your cricket life? How does that all play out?
I think it goes pretty like good. Like either I come home at 9, as I said. Just like if it's 1 2 weeks before my test, I take a one-on-one session early and I come back for studying. But like now, of course, I can't just be idle till my exams come. So I think 1.5 hour, 1 hour when I can squeeze it out in the day and just study. And now it's not much pressure as of I'm in eighth, but definitely when I go in higher grades, I can feel it.
Yeah. Another thing is that you do come home only at 9, and for everyone who's watching, we're recording this at 10:20 on a Saturday night. Just goes to show how busy both of these are, and how much effort they're putting in to becoming better players. So a round of applause for them, and in the comments would be really motivating for them.
and Chirag, how do you balance everything?
during a season, it pretty much balances itself out. I mean, I've been doing it for so many years that it is, kind of become very natural to me I have a particular time for everything, and things just flow into that because I've been used to it. Things have been used to come out the way I want it to be until now, which has been working wonderfully well. And I feel that it just to you naturally after a few years of juggling between work, this and that. Balancing time and finding time out for little things just comes naturally to you, and you learn to do it quite.
Um, where do you guys see yourself in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years as you guys grow? And Chirag, why don't you go first?
Well. Well, I really don't think that far ahead of me. So right now is my under 19 age group. I have a plan made for the next 3 years, for as long as I'm on under 19. And there's no point for a cricketer, especially for a sport, to have plans for you 10 years in the future, because you never know, your career might be cut down short 10 years in the future due to an injury. So it's better to make short-term plans, focus on long-term goals, rather than long-term plans, which can end up cut down, which can end up, yourself cutting it down and you feeling disappointed. So it's important to set short-term goals that kind of match your long-term, short-term plans, which match long-term goal, which is what I've instructed myself to do rather than trained, because it makes life much more easier. You know what you're supposed to do to get at a level which is in the near future rather than 5 years down the line.
Yeah. And Krish, do you, is Krish here?
Right, I think Krish has gotten disconnected. Chirag, just on want to talk about the point you said on when you have the off season. What is it that you do to keep yourself fit? Or walk us through like your gym session. How does it go? What are you trying to train exactly?
So, my gym session is basically mostly trying to, correct a few things wrong with my action. Or so they're video analysis and they're everything. So if there's anything wrong with my action, the gym session is basically on correcting them. So rather than going full on strengthening, I go on correcting the things which I'm supposed to, which can help me, bowl better, or be much more fitter and athletic for the next season, which I think is very important, because you have 2-day games coming up, and if you're not fit enough to last for a 2-day game, there is no way you can be fit to last for a state game, which is a 4-day fixture. I think small steps taking into consideration, considering your stamina and how athletic or how flexible are you, is what be done in a gym, especially for.
Right. Why don't you ask the same
Yeah.
question, Krish?
Yeah, Krish. So I think you got logged out here, but so you obviously said that you have maybe an hour or so to work out. So how does your workout routine look like, or what do you do?
Yeah, that like of course now at this age I'm not allowed to go to the gym. So what I do, that Terra bands which have weights, each has like particular, like example 6 kg per hand, 8 kg per hand, 10 kg. I do that like forearms, then tricep, then I do tricep dips. Of course, then I do like, this is not with equipment. I do push-ups. I do like the various types of planks, and then there's a roller for the abs. I just do that. That takes approx 30 minutes. Then yeah, I just do all other to keep my stamina up, like jumping jacks, spot jogging, and all.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that while trying to keep yourself fit, you have to have a really good diet. So, what does your diet look like, guys? Are there any specific things you don't eat? Are there some specific things you do eat to get your protein in? Please walk us through that too.
Honestly, I don't follow any diet. Of course, I just try to keep fats and sugar less. I won't say I don't have fats and sugars at all. I obviously have sugar or fat a day, but I think like to play, like example, when you go up like under 14, under 16 games, your matches start to become like, it's more not the 20 and 30 hours, it becomes 50 or 2-day games. So for that, I think you just have to keep yourself hydrated, So I don't keep any particular diet as of now. In the future, maybe.
Well, diet. Luckily, my metabolism is quite good, so um, nothing I eat really affects on me. But I think it's very important to eat the right things, to have a right, more than diet. I think it's about how you recover, because diet, eating is something that comes very naturally to athletes. You know what you should eat, you know what you should not eat, you know how much you need to eat. It's pretty much embedded in the brain. But sleeping habits and recovering well is something very important, which I focus on more rather than what I'm supposed to eat or not supposed to eat. So I think rather than being conscious about what I eat, I try to be conscious about how many hours of sleep do I get before a game day, because according to me, the better I sleep, the better the performance comes in. And eating kind of takes care of it itself, because on match days you don't really eat too much, or on any training days you don't feel like eating much, because you just want to go out there and play. And I think getting a diet automatically just comes in naturally to you. Just say no to a few things, you say yes to a few others, and yeah, it just basically is embedded already inside your head.
Right. I think we have time for maybe one last question. So Krish, you support CSK, and Chirag, you support RCB. What do you think are the changes that your respective clubs could make in order for them to win the IPL trophy?
I think for CSK, what we lacked out like this year's IPL was we could definitely okay, see batting, hitting 190, 200 plus. That shows our hitting and openers were really good, but not being able to defend that clearly shows the bowling attack was poor. And I feel especially on the new ball attack power play, I think we had in the last few games of the season Mukesh Chowdhury came in, that also he leaked runs, but then eventually he started picking up big wickets of Rohit Sharma and all. But I think in the first we had Tushar Deshpande and Simarjit Singh, if I'm right. Then eventually it came to a point when CSK had to open with Moeen Ali. I think this mini auction or auction, they have to target for a few new ball bowlers, not a few, even if one can work with Mukesh Chowdhury, that's pretty good. As Mukesh Chowdhury is always an advantage, left arm fast bowler.
Right, Chirag?
Well, I really thought this season was a great season for RCB in terms of team depth and everything. But what lacks is pressure and crunch situation performance in them, because this season we got knocked out in the qualifier too. I think Eliminator was just brilliant in terms of handling pressure by Rajat Patidar, and of course qualifier 2 as well. We had Patidar show up on what he is made of, but I feel more players like him who can handle pressure situations and crunch situations and really master the art of performing in them is what RCB needs. Probably a few players that have already done that before, or a specific coach or a training regime designed to handle yourself in pressure situations and to overcome them. Well, I'm no expert to say this is what RCB needs, but looking at the performance in the um, over the years, how it's happened, they do need experience in just playing out those pressure crunch moments and winning out mini battles on the field, which can help them go ahead in the tournament.
Right. I think I just want to end on a good note here, guys. What's your most favorite cricketing memory that you have?
Well, I still remember the date to this one. This was 2nd November 21 last year. It was my first zonal game, and of course, you're very nervous because you've achieved that stage. And I remember 6:30. I was in Chinnaswamy, um, because we had bus transportation from there, of course, and I was waiting there. I had a few familiar faces whom I was waiting with and who were in my team. And so a zonal tournament basically puts you in a random team with a random captain. And if you're lucky, you get a good captain who knows you and good teammates who you know. So I was lucky. I knew two people, and the people I bonded with really well in the team. And I remember it was a 40-kilometer, 25-kilometer travel till Mysore Road, because that's where that was where the game we had. I was not expecting to play because it was my first zonal year, and it turns out I was, and I was, of course, very nervous. And I was told I'd start the bowling, second over. And the first over was quite a long one, 7-ball over. And of course, you want the over to get over as fast as possible so that you can just bowl and, start off so that the pressure handles in. And then, yeah, again, I got the ball. First 3 balls, of course, there were dots, not quite consistent. And then in the last 3 balls, I got a hat trick. I still remember each and every moment of that hat trick. And it was very special because it was my first zonal game. I mean, you've worked so hard and you've gotten to the zonal level, and first game you come in, last 3 balls of your first over, you get a hat trick. And that game, I still remember my figures. It was a very beautiful game. I just felt that I was meant to be there, and it just worked out just the way I wanted it to. So that's a very great memory I have that I will never forget. It'll always be in the back of my head.
That's amazing. And Krish?
Yeah, I think I have many memories that are literally unforgettable for me, but I would want to tell like one which happened recently. I think it was in the month of June. It like we had a tournament, of course. Then it was the do or die match. It was like under 14. The previous night, I was not feeling good. I had like stomach ache, I had headache, I was not feeling good. But of course, if I told my coach or friends, they would not take me, they would tell rest. But of course, if you lie to yourself, nothing goes correct. So I next morning I told my coach I'm not feeling good. He just asked me one thing: you want to play or not? I told yeah. Then when I went on field, it turned out that the usual captain of the team, he had not shown up. He had gone for his exam. So then I was appointed as the captain, and that was the first time I had led the team, and I was very nervous. From it went till the toss. That we had to spin the coins 2 times because the first time I was so nervous I didn't even call heads or tails. I was just thinking what will happen if we lose. Then next, after the toss, we batted first. I went opening. So when you're opening, what you want to do, just touch the ball, give the other guy the strike, and be out of pressure. That's what I tried. Like playing like that. Then after I played like 20, 25 balls, I felt little calm. Then I hit 74 of 85 to be precise. Then I'm like, okay, now batting is over. Just lead the team in bowling. Like we had not put up a high score. It was 30 over match. We had it like 170. Then it went to bowling again. I had fever. My head started paining, and I had to. It was like in this like summer. It was full sunny, and literally my head started aching. Then I had to bowl when my coach told me to, because like the opening bowlers had not done. Then I had to bowl like all my 6 overs, and I didn't do bad. I bowled 6 overs, I think 14 runs, and I got 2 wickets of the batsmen who were set. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't win that. We lost by I think 2 or 3 wickets. But that was just like the best game I have played. It was too entertaining. Like not even a high score. It's like 170 and 180 balls. I think yeah, that's it.
All right. It was a pleasure having you guys on. And we wish you guys the best of luck for your future cricket endeavors. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, share, go follow us on Insta.
And if we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you, guys.